Yeah. I wanted to do it for our year one. You ready, bro?
Yeah.
What up, Jobins? Episode 59. I got a special guest with me. My big bro, Jeff Schmidt.
What up?
How we doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. It's so awesome to have you on my pod, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Jobins, can you tell we're related? Do we look similar at all? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
My whole life, everyone says we look exactly the same, but I don't think so. Yeah. I think you look like Dad. And in fact, I was telling Dad recently, you are starting to really look like Dad. Like when you posted that picture of you losing weight, because you've been losing weight lately and you're looking really good.
Thank you.
Keep going.
All right.
I was like, Dad, this is like a mirror right now. Like, holy crap. I never would have thought.
Well, he's only 21 years older than me. So
Yeah, you were 21. I can't imagine.
Me neither.
I can't imagine.
I was 27. 26 when I had my first child.
Wow, when Bailey was born.
Bailey, yeah.
Wow. See, I just turned 29. A lot of thing that freaks the Jobins out is our age difference. How old are you, Jeff?
I'm 51. I'll be 52 in August.
Yeah, and I just turned 29. So how many year difference is that?
11, 20. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
29,
More
39,
than 10.
49. So 49, 50, 51, 52. So 23 years older than me.
There you go.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
A lot. Every time
I'm old enough to be your dad.
You really are. You really could be your dad. And in fact, I remember when Dad was your age.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I was a little kid, but I remember when we turned 50, and we made it a big deal. Yeah.
I'm past that mark.
I know, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, you're in town. This is your first time.
Yeah.
So this is Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Merry Christmas,
Yeah,
everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This pod won't come out. It'll come out after Christmas. So hope all you Jobins had a good Christmas. But you actually came up and surprised Dad for Christmas this year.
Yeah, actually, it was my wife's idea.
Oh, Trey's?
Yeah. I was telling her, I talked to Dad just about every weekend at least, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just telling her, everything that we talk about, and she was like, before it's too late, you better go see him.
Yeah.
And
here we are, baby.
here we are.
Yeah, I don't think it's too late, Jobins. My dad's going through chemo and radiation. We've told you this before on the pod, but he's got some really good news.
Yeah.
The tumor is shrinking in his lungs.
Yes.
He's
good
got,
news.
yeah, that's really good news. They always tell him he's really healthy outside of the cancer, so he's got that going. Yeah, some good news came our way. So
And plus, he's tough as nails.
he is tough, man. It's in our DNA. It's in our SCHMITT boys' DNA.
Yeah.
Just a couple Schmitty boys. Look at us. A couple Schmitts. It's so funny. And it cracks me up, too, because, like, I don't know. I'm starting to pay attention more of, like, our similarities.
Yeah.
Because, like, you'll do and say shit,
Yeah.
and it freaks me out because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God, I do that.
I do the same thing.
It's weird. And then Dad always says it, and I'm like, that's just so. And, we're half brothers. We have different moms. Our dad, how many times was Dad? I don't even really know. How many times was Dad married? See? Who really even knows?
I want to say 5.
That's what I want to say. I think it's 5. My dad's been married 5 times.
And I think there was one woman that was twice. A redo.
A redo.
Yeah.
Damn. Almost had a redo with my mom. No.
No.
Well, yeah, you were his first wife.
Yep.
Dad's first wife.
Yep. My mom.
And they were 21. Damn.
My mom is 20 years and 2 weeks older than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She was a kid.
She's told me all her life. She says we grew up together.
Both your kids are now older than that.
Yep.
Or at Taylor's 20.
Taylor will be 21
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. So wow.
Yeah.
And look at them. They're kids.
Yeah.
I was telling Mom my mom was showing me some 20-year-olds that she knows from her work friends. And I'm like, they look like kids. They look like little babies.
They were.
And they're 20.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine it being, even right now at 29, I still can't imagine having a kid. I'm definitely not ready. I'm still a kid myself. That's how I feel, 29.
Yeah.
I don't know. What were you telling me that 29 is 27 or something like that.
29 is the new 20.
Oh, it's the new 20?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So, okay, what year were you born?
1970.
1970. Damn.
Yeah.
Big difference in my, I was born in 92. What was it like growing up in the 70s with Dad? Because Dad was young when he had you, so, and my dad was old when he had me.
I just remember, of course there wasn't internet or there were video games, but you had to go to the arcade, and there was those little handheld electronic football games that you can get at Kmart or wherever.
Electronic football games.
Yeah.
Like, were they like a little Game Boy type
like
thing?
a handheld.
And it was just football?
Yeah, it was very primitive. It wasn't very fancy at all. It was pretty much, just a couple flashing lights and, stuff like that. So, but it was cool. I just remember riding a lot of bikes, and the rule was you got to come back home when the street lights come on.
Yeah. And you grew up here in Missouri, right?
I lived in Afton until I was 10. Well, I was born in San Francisco. My dad was
born in San Francisco. That's cool.
Yeah, Dad was in the Navy. He was stationed in San Francisco, and that's where I was born.
Wow.
And then we moved to Virginia.
Did they meet in San Francisco?
No.
Where did your...
My mom grew up in St. Louis.
Oh, and that's where they met?
Her sister lives here in Arnold.
I don't even think it's funny. You've met my mom. I don't think I've ever met your mom.
Yeah, well, she lives in Florida.
Yeah.
So
how did Dad and your mom meet? Because I've never heard that one. I've only heard how my mom and Dad have met. This is crazy.
My dad was friends with a man named Mike Paling. And Mike Paling and my aunt, my mom's sister, were dating. And I think Mike Paling, who became my uncle eventually, introduced my mom.
So mutual friends.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think that's how it is. I'm sure Dad will correct you.
Yeah. When he sees this.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's how it happened. And
your mom remarried, right?
Yeah, my mom's been remarried a couple times.
Oh, a couple times?
Yeah. She married a man from Chicago who had a job here in St. Louis, and we got transferred back to Chicago. So
wow.
When I was, I think 11, we moved to Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Really? Yeah. How far away from Chicago is that?
Just right outside.
Oh, wow. So you could go to pretty much here for St. Louis with us?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually never knew that.
Yeah. I
lived there for
4 years.
So like 16, 15?
I think it was 1980 to 1984. The year the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Bears.
We moved 2 weeks after the Super Bowl when they won. So I got to see firsthand, a Super Bowl champion, how the city reacts and parties and stuff.
That's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Germantown, Tennessee, which is a little suburb of Memphis. And I'll never forget it. The temperature in Bolingbrook when we left was like negative 14 degrees. This was like February.
Really?
Yeah. It was like negative 14 degrees the weekend we moved from Bolingbrook to Germantown, Tennessee.
Is Bolingbrook more north?
No, it's a southern suburb.
Really?
It's like just a little bit north of Joliet.
Oh, wow.
But we moved to Germantown, Tennessee
I don't know my shit.
in November of, I believe it was 84. And it was like 65 degrees.
Oh,
so I was like, we just moved to Florida. I couldn't believe it. It was February and it was 60 degrees.
And so after then, did you move back to Missouri, or did you stay?
No.
So you've always, from that moment, you've always been in Tennessee?
I've never left Tennessee, and I probably never will.
Yeah.
I love Tennessee.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a great state.
Oh yeah, it's
beautiful.
Yeah, last time I remember being down there, it's been a long time, but I just remember it being real open.
Yeah.
Is it still like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of country.
Yeah, I like that. I like openness.
Yeah.
It makes you.
I'm
feel
very
good.
happy there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, as people could probably tell, you got the little accent compared to me. I think it's cool. I love accents, man.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, see, it's weird because I hear it. You got a Southern accent. Maybe when you watch the pod, maybe then you, oh, wow, maybe I hear it. But maybe not. Yeah. And Trey's got it real bad, too. It's cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's from Memphis.
Uh-huh.
She was born in Memphis.
That's cool. I thought, didn't you live here, though?
What do you mean, in this building?
In this house. Didn't you live here?
No, not for very long.
You just stayed here for a little bit?
Well, it was the last Christmas that I was in town. Was
30 years ago?
30-something years ago. I was 19, I believe. I had just completed my first semester at Memphis State, University of Memphis. And I wanted to go see my buddies in Chicago for the Christmas holidays. So I was going to drive up here, stay for Christmas, day after Christmas, head to Bolingbrook to meet up with my buddies, spend New Year's Eve in Chicago with my buddies, and then afterwards drive back down here, stay a couple days, and then go back home. But on the way back from Bolingbrook, went up there and spent New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever, and had a good time. And on the way back, my car blew a bearing.
Oh no!
In the back wheel axle. And this was like January. It was like January 2nd or 3rd, and I broke down in the middle of Illinois somewhere.
Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called Dad, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll come pick you up." He drove. It was a weeknight, so he had to work in the morning. So he came and picked me up. It was probably about 8 o'clock. It was just a rinky-dink little old gas station in the middle of nowhere, man. And
where was Dad? So Dad had, it was a good drive for him?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
It was a couple hours.
Wow.
And then he had to turn around and do it again.
Oh, man.
And my car, they towed my car all the way here to
when
the
you were
dealership.
19.
Yeah, I was 19. And they ended up paying for it.
And he was all nice to you about it?
Who?
Dad.
He better be.
He was not like, oh.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know what would happen if I'd have done some shit like that?
No, man.
Fuck. I'd have been like, what the hell you doing for back down? I'd have got this shit kicked out. No. That's so crazy.
Yeah. And I was stranded here for
You were his little bundle of joy.
I was stranded here for like 2 or 3 weeks. I missed school and everything.
Shit.
I was supposed to be back at school in like January the 13th or something, and here it is almost February, and my car's still not fixed.
Wow.
So, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I was just stuck here.
Yeah. And young like that. I mean, and dealing with college. That'd be frustrating as hell.
Yeah. So
Did you have online? Was there online schooling back then? Fuck no.
I mean, there probably was, but it was so primitive. It would be more.
Yeah, that was a dumb
expensive.
Question, huh?
No, this was like 89.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
College has come a long way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So then you went back to Tennessee. How'd you meet Trey?
Actually, I was working. This was after I decided I was done with school. I was just ready to make money, and I mean, I didn't have like entrepreneurial, tendencies or whatever. But I found a job and at Nike, the Nike warehouse.
Oh, really?
I unloaded trucks.
Did you get some shoes? Did you get some hook up on some slicks?
Oh yeah, they got
some stompers.
Yeah, yeah, they got a room that you can go in where all the stuff that didn't sell or gets returned or whatever, and they give it to you for like ridiculous price, like a pair of shoes that are like out of style. You can't buy them no more, and they're like $1.50.
Oh wow, that's cool.
If you got to be an employee though, So we did that. Cool. We did that. But anyway, I was working at Nike, and I met this dude, and we became friends. His name was Steve.
Shout out, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. I don't know where he's at. I have no idea. But anyway, we used to hang out every weekend and, go out to clubs and, just hang out. And he met this girl that we also worked with, and she invited us to her house. And I met her daughter. She was an older lady. And so I met her daughter, and her name was Carla. And I started hanging out with Carla, and nothing serious. And one weekend, it was me, Steve, and Carla, and she said, "Hey, I know somebody's having a party.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Tracy's having a party in Memphis."
Uh-huh.
And Carla lived in South Haven, Mississippi. That's why I said Memphis. But
Uh-huh.
we were in South Haven, Mississippi, which is right across the border from Memphis.
Uh-huh.
And she said, "I know somebody in Memphis who's having a party. Let's go." And I was like, "All right, let's go." So I get there. We get to the party, and Tracy,
mm-hmm.
she was hammered. Hammered.
Yeah.
And
Tracy's such a fun spirit. For Jobans who don't know Tracy, Tracy's like one of the most fun spirited people ever. Like,
yeah, she was hammered.
Yeah.
And
so I can imagine she's probably pretty wild.
And this is the first time I've ever met her. So she's hammered.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking to myself, I was like, this girl really needs help. I was like, she is, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, whatever. And she said, yeah. Oh, we saw her at a gas station. We stopped at the gas station and we looked over and Carla goes, "Hey, there's Tracy right there."
Uh-huh.
And she was in a car with her boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was driving. She gets out of the car and walks over to my car. I'm driving. And she's looking in the back of the car and she goes, "Oh, hey." And she goes, "Hey, come over to my house and I'm having a party. We're here to get some beer." And I was like, "You don't need no more beer." You know?
Yeah.
So we followed her back and we were friends for a while, but it's very difficult to
Difficult story to explain, hard one. It's okay. It's okay. But plus, you're 51 now. Gonna be 52.
That was
some time ago.
30 years ago.
Yeah, you were 26.
That
was when you were 26 when you had a Bailey.
Let's see. Yeah, I was 26 when we had Bailey,
which is crazy.
And I was 21 when I met Trey.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't start dating until I knew her like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 3 years.
Because another thing, one of my earliest memories is going to your guys' wedding.
Yeah.
So you guys had a kid, and then it was a couple of years later you got married?
A year.
A year? Wow.
Bailey
was only a year when you guys got married? Because I thought she was like...
Let me think for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jobins. Aging.
Yeah.
Will get us all.
Yeah, it was probably a little over a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn that like me and her were already buddies at the time. Because I was a little kid. Yeah. I was really little.
Well, she was a flower girl.
So how's she a flower girl? She's only 1 year old.
Yeah.
She can walk?
Yeah.
She can walk at 1?
Well, yeah, about.
Oh, wow.
She was over a year old.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. She was about maybe a year and...
How old is she again right now? 25? She could be 26?
25, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm 4 years... Wow. Okay, so, yeah, I was like 4 or 5 at your wedding. Yeah. That's one of my earliest memories, which is crazy.
That was a cool wedding.
Yeah. I just remember walking in, and there's this really cool fountain in the front. It was cool.
Yeah.
Can't remember much of it, but, yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. So, you've been with Tracy since you were that young. I'm 29, dude. What's it like being married for so long? Is that nice? It's got to be nice.
You don't really remember what your life was like before.
Right? You've had more of life with someone than without.
Right. I don't really remember what I did before I had kids.
And how you were?
Yeah. I remember some things and how but it's kind of like, well, it'd be different for you, but think about what was your life like before you had a cell phone?
Oh, I know, right?
How did you call somebody? How did you get a hold of your friends?
My attention span was much wider than it is now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Such a shorter.
Kind of like the same thing. I don't remember.
Yeah.
What did I do every Saturday night?
Played board games, video games. Actually hung out with friends, and actually talked to people on the phone.
Go to parties. And
it's weird because now
clubs.
I hate talking on the phone, and I feel bad.
I do that for a living, so I want to talk on the phone as less as possible.
Yeah.
Or just communicate in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like texting and stuff, but like, I don't know. For some reason, like talking on the phone is just something I'm like, Yeah. I don't know why it grinds my gears so much.
It does.
Oh. I'm like, just text me.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's it feels like demanding, like you're needed right then and there, and maybe you're doing something, maybe you're busy, and you can't answer the phone.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What'd you do in Did you play any sports in high school? What was what was high school like for you in your day? You were a high school kid in the 80s.
Right.
What was that like?
Well, my freshman year and half of my sophomore year was in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Mm-hmm. It's in Chicago. Very tough neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of music did you listen to?
Oh man, it was definitely MTV all the way.
Oh yeah?
Everything MTV had, we listened to it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And that's the OG MTV. Yeah. That's like the respect.
The very first days.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Do you remember when MTV started, or do you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Because I think my MTV days as a kid were pretty good. We had some pretty cool shows as a kid. But then after, like, when I started getting older, they kind of, I don't even know if fucking MTV's a thing anymore.
It is.
It is?
Oh, they don't play music.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like Jersey Shore and
stuff like that. I never watched.
I don't get into any of that. But yeah, I remember.
Who was your favorite artist growing up in high school?
Oh boy.
Well, what were you jamming to walking through the halls?
The biggest one was the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys?
That was the biggest one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
they were the shit.
Yeah, they were. In my opinion.
But outside of that, it was
Run DMC. A lot of Run DMC. They teamed up with Aerosmith and introduced rap music to every white kid in America.
That's cool.
And that's how I found. I mean,
maybe that's how Eminem started. Maybe that's what sparked Eminem.
I'm sure.
Because that's what I grew up on, Tupac and Eminem. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Right.
Did you ever listen to them? Or were you?
Yes.
Yeah. How old were you so 90s? So you were like in your older 20s?
Yeah.
Wow.
30.
Yeah. Do you remember when Tupac got shot?
I do.
Wow. I was a little kid. I was real little. It's so cool. You're like a little time bottle. That's the way I always look at older people, because I just want to know, I'm like, what was it like? Because we know what it's like now. And I look back sometimes, I'm like,
the world really has changed.
So it's changed in my lifetime with technology. Technology changed.
Yeah.
I saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, I'm like, what the hell is the kids going to see, and it's going to be the metaverse? Do you know anything about the metaverse?
No.
That's going to be the future. Maybe not, but I think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be all technology.
We're talking about virtual.
Oh, yeah. Virtual reality.
Well, virtual realty.
Yeah. Essentially. Be whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's real crazy, because there's people selling like yachts in the metaverse for like $650,000.
Yeah.
And people are buying land in the metaverse. It's just some real crazy shit.
Yeah. I don't understand how it works, but
you probably never even thought that was coming.
Never.
Yeah. You even saw yourself the change in technology. You saw all the Apple in the 90s. I did too, but I was a kid, But
Atari?
You really saw it.
Atari that was all we had.
Yeah.
What was it? Atari and
some Sonic shit, Mario.
Crap, I can't think of it.
It's okay.
Anyways,
some OG shit.
Yeah. Primitive computers.
Well. Damn. You didn't play. I thought you played football. Why was I thinking you played football in high school?
Well, I tried out. Well, it wasn't really even a tryout. It was just, they would always just let whoever wanted to play, come to the practices, and we'll give you the equipment.
An opportunity.
Yeah.
And if you're good, you can stick around. If not, hit the hay kid.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much, let anybody be on the team. Mm-hmm. But there was one particular practice where we were doing some type of drill where, two players, one, you line up opposite of each other and you run toward each other and tackle each other. And I got teamed up with like this really big black guy, and he pretty much body slammed me, and that was the end of my football career. I was like,
the same for me.
I'm like, I'm done.
That just fucked me up.
Yeah,
I had a similar situation in football, but I didn't quit because of that. But I was like, man, I don't really like this.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Getting the wind knocked out of you is not fun.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the end of my football career.
Yeah. I only did football for a year. They didn't have my fucking size helmet. That kind of really dampened it. I couldn't really play. And then I was just over it.
I mean, do you blame them?
Oh, I know. Kids would spin the helmet on their head and be like, they come, are you the guy with the football helmet? I'm like, yeah, shit. So it was cool, but it was kind of embarrassing at the same time.
That's all right.
Yeah. But then I went to volleyball, and that changed. That was a life changing.
Yeah, you're tall.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said it was It was a tough neighborhood where you went to school. So were you ever like in fights or shit? Did you ever get in a scrap?
Of course.
You got in fights?
Oh, of course.
See, dude, I got in like, I wouldn't even call them fights, just like a little.
You didn't get hazed for being a freshman?
Fuck no.
I did.
Hazed?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I was at, it was like the second or third day of freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And staying at the bus stop in the neighborhood, you know, I got all these my own books, you know, that I just got. Still trying to figure out what I need to carry home and what I need to leave at school and stuff like that. So you're carrying extra books, right?
Yeah.
So I'm standing there. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, September in Chicago, so it's pretty cold every morning at school. So this rather large kid, he's probably I don't even know what grade he was in, but he was much bigger than me. And he says he come up to me, and the bus hadn't gotten there yet, and he said, are you a freshman? I said, yeah. He said, well, you're going to carry my books. And I was like, oh, okay.
You were just like, yeah?
Yeah. I was like,
I mean,
okay.
like, why?
I was like, yeah. No, I was like, oh, okay. And he handed me his book, so I'm standing there, you know.
And he's such a nice kid.
Yeah, no.
Already
no,
just
check
showing
it out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
This is a nice kid.
Watch this.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, he's over there, you know, acting like, you know, he's Mr. Badass. You know? And the bus comes, and, you know, I made sure I was, you know, one of the last people to get on the bus. And he gets on the bus, and I'm waiting, and, you know, kids are going ahead of me. As soon as it was time for my turn to go on the bus, all his books went in the ditch.
You just fucking tossed them?
Yeah.
Damn.
I got on the bus.
Now you got like, balls.
He goes, where's my books? And I said, they're out there in the bus stop.
Bitch.
Yeah. And I sat down. Yeah. And he gets up and runs off the bus to get his books.
And then was he pissed?
Never mess with me again.
Because he knew you had a fucking set of balls. That took balls. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm more verbal.
Yeah.
Where that was a little more strategic.
Yeah.
As a counter to being bullied.
Yeah.
Like, you thought.
Yeah.
You thought more than you spoke. Me,
right.
I'd have been like, I'm not carrying your books, bitch. And then it would have been on. Either I'd have got my ass beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I like that.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's sick. Did you ever, you got any other fight stories? Did you ever get beat up?
Oh, yeah.
I got jumped when I was in like 5th grade.
Really?
Oh, by 5 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got robbed.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you get robbed at?
When I was delivering pizzas in Jackson. This was probably 2000. Let's see, 2007, 2008.
Did you get like a gunpoint or a knife?
No.
Oh, thank God. Maybe it was a little more crispy.
It was late at night, and it wasn't the best neighborhood in Jackson. And I pulled up. It was a cul-de-sac. And there was these two dudes. They had ordered the pizza to this house, and the house was completely dark, and it just was at the end of the cul-de-sac. And there was a street lamp, and they were standing underneath the street lamp. So I was like, you know, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. This has got to be who ordered this pizza. So I pull up, and sure enough, it was. And it just happened to be right out in front of this address of this house. It was completely dark. And I get out of the car with the pizzas, and it was a rather large order, and it had 2 2-liters. And I was like, why would these 2 kids order 3 pizzas and 2 2-liters at 10:30 at night on a Thursday?
They're stoned, baby.
Right.
Here in Arnold, Missouri, they're stoned out of their mind,
So whatever. You know, I'm just like, okay, here's your pizza. Give me my money. So the dude grabs the pizza. I give the pizza to the first guy, and the other guy slipped behind me, and I didn't realize it. And he hit me, but when he hit me, he didn't make a solid connection. I must have moved at the last second or something, and he just barely hit. As a matter of fact, it was not these glasses, but he hit my
motherfucking glasses.
These glasses, and knocked my glasses off. And of course, I was stunned.
Like, what the hell just happened?
Right. And I turned around and I was like, "Why did you hit me like that?" That's what I said.
Yeah.
Why did you hit me? And he had his hand in
God, look at you.
What?
Just still so calm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he had his hand in his pocket and he was making his finger to look like a gun, which I knew it wasn't a gun, but I wasn't going to take any chances because all I had was $30.
Yeah.
He can have the pizza and the $30.
Yeah.
I said to him, he said, give me all your money. I'm trying to be
tough.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, you didn't have to hit me. If you want,
hey, you didn't have to fucking hit me, dude.
Right? I said, if you want my money, here it is, and you can have the pizza.
Yeah.
And of course, he grabbed the money, and then they just both walked away.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Was your heart like fucking?
Yeah. I was more mad that I got hit.
Yeah.
He didn't have to hit me.
Yeah.
He was thinking that he was going to knock me out.
Yeah.
No.
Damn. On the job. Did you quit after that, or did you keep working? You kept doing it?
Yeah. Well,
a little more cautious?
Well, the thing is I had 2 deliveries on that trip.
How old were you when this happened?
35.
Damn.
Yeah.
God, that'd be so scary to be robbed. I'm glad it wasn't with, like, hopefully it wasn't an actual gun.
Here's the thing.
I'm glad you didn't get hurt.
The very first delivery that I had on that trip was to a hotel right around the corner from there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some cops sitting right there in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove on the way out.
Perfect timing.
I drove right out past them, and I was like, hey, I'll just go back to them cops.
Yeah.
So I went right back to them cops. And, nothing ever came of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nothing.
That you couldn't, like, these motherfuckers, like, you couldn't just take them to the house and be like, there they are.
The house turned out to be abandoned, empty house. Nobody lived there.
Oh.
See, they used that so that you can't trace it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
These were some smart dudes. And
were
to be able to get in the house, too, it's like, damn.
They didn't go in the house. They went behind the house.
Oh.
They went behind the house and through the yard and probably to their house.
Oh.
This was a vacant house.
Yeah, I just thought, like, when you walked up and knocked the door. So you didn't have time to knock on the door or anything.
No, they were waiting for me in the driveway.
Oh.
Underneath the street light, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah. Damn.
Pay attention, man.
Pay attention, Schmidt. Fuck. My bad. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like that.
I lived in Memphis in the 80s and the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And people always talk about how bad Memphis is.
Mm-hmm.
I never experienced any of that.
That's how same thing here. Everyone says Jeffco is stamped with meth county and heroin and all these. And there is.
Yeah.
And that's probably like that everywhere. There's drugs and violence everywhere. But, like, I've go everywhere and I've never experienced any kind of bad shit.
Yeah.
And we have a nice, clean neighborhood area.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with how you look. Because you look like,
I know, it's so funny because
people don't mess with you.
My neighbor, he's this big jack construction guy,
yeah.
And he's really nice. His name's Will. He told my dad, he's like, your son looks like the guy I would never piss off. And I'm like, I look at Will and I'm like, I always tell Dad, I'm like, I wouldn't fuck with Will. Will would fuck me up.
Right.
If people only knew how much of a pussy I really am, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I guess I give off this look like I'm some big, tall badass. I guess I just look like it. What can you say? You know what I mean? But yeah, I am blessed because I do walk through life and people don't fuck with me.
Me neither.
I've had people like start to do something and I just look at them like, are you really like this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, sorry. And then they stop. So I get real lucky.
That's the thing in Memphis is the only thing that I've really experienced is like anytime you stop for gas, there's always somebody there asking for money.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get $2. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that's kind of.
I
can see how that would be scary.
Yeah. We sometimes have homeless people around here, more like South County up towards the city.
Yeah.
I always feel bad. I got to give them $1 or something.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Fuck. It just went off the top of my head. I forget. There's something about being tall, too. It was going to be sick. Oh, yeah. Another thing. that's why I never mess with people or get in a fight. Yeah. Is because people I know would never fight me. They would just shoot me. That's the way I feel. Because there's a lot of people strapped and there's a lot of road rage. Yeah. Like people have horrible road rage. Right. And I can kind of get a little steamy sometimes but I've really worked on it the past I'd say 10 years. I've really worked on it. And I don't think I have road rage today because I'm too afraid of what the hell the other people have.
I have noticed that St. Louis drivers are way more aggressive than.
Fuck yes. I experienced that
in Tennessee
4 times technically because I've driven all the way to California and back 2 times, and it's the more you go out, the better drivers are, the nicer drivers are. When you get into Missouri, they turn into idiots. They don't know how to drive. They're fucking aggressive. They're mean. Missouri sucks, to be honest. And we get the weather here, it'll snow one day, the very next day it's 70 degrees. Yeah. And it fluctuates so crazy. We get it all. Yeah. Except for tornadoes. My mom and dad, it's funny because they always freak out over tornadoes, but we're in these hills and shit and by rivers. I'm like, guys, we're good. Yeah. My mom throws it out. She's like, global warming, the storms are getting stronger. I'm like, damn, you might got a point there. Maybe in a few hundred years there'll be some fucking crazy tornadoes that can do that. You're right. Yeah. So, any other crazy stories you got growing up? No? You did start. What I think is really cool is how you started that trucking business.
Yeah, started out with 1 truck.
What made you want to get into the trucking business? Did it just click? One day you were just like,
no,
let me hear.
I worked in trucking since 1996.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought this was something that you and Dad started
No.
Wow.
No. Had a friend named Chad. His dad had a trucking company. Started a trucking company. Had a few tire accounts where we would load truck tires, car tires, just load them straight in the trailer and deliver them to places like New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey and stuff like that. And I met him working at the pizza place, and they were hiring. I think they were hiring people to help unload trailers. So he offered me a job. So I went down there, and it was really hard work, and I wasn't into that kind of hard work. Mm-hmm. So I didn't take the job, and then I kept on working at the pizza place. And then a couple years later, I lost touch with Chad, and I was working at Papa John's in Memphis. Mm-hmm. And it was like a Friday night or something, or Saturday night or something, and here comes Chad, comes in to order a pizza. And he said, "Hey, man, I'm doing this thing called brokerage."
Did he know you were there?
No, he didn't.
He just spontaneously?
Just showed up.
That's a little sprinkle of destiny.
Yeah. And he said, I'm doing this thing called freight brokerage. Have you ever heard of it? And I was like, yeah, I've heard of it. And he said, I'm doing some of that now. I could use some help if you want to come help me. And he was like, why don't you come down to my office? And he gave me the phone number and the address. Oops. And I showed up there, and I started working with him part-time, learning a lot.
About trucks?
Yeah. About how the business works and, how you get paid and how you operate. And I met this lady named Kathy Sisson who lived in Jackson, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And we did a lot of business with her. Mm-hmm. And we built a relationship with her, and, we'd get on the phone and do crazy stuff and talk to her and stuff like that. And one day I called her office, and they said, well, Kathy don't work here anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder what happened to her. Mm-hmm. And I think a week went by, and one day Kathy called, and she said, I started my own trucking company, and I'm looking for a dispatcher if you know anybody who is looking for a job. Mm-hmm. Well, I was young and, not making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I had, I think Bailey I don't think Bailey was born. I think Trey was pregnant with Bailey. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to make, a better life for us. And I called Kathy and I told her that I might be interested. And she said, well, you have to move to Jackson, Tennessee. And I was like, I could do that if, the money's right. And we talked and we agreed, and I took the job and we moved to Jackson, Tennessee.
Damn.
Yeah.
A little leap of faith.
Yeah.
That's really cool how that worked with a guy just walking in.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how things like that happen. I have a similar case at my hand, Yeah. I could have a very similar experience.
Yeah.
To be talked about soon, Jobins, on that. And then, so when'd you get your first truck?
Oh, yeah. So I worked for Kathy for, I think, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just...
And what were you doing? Just like paperwork stuff? And
dispatching trucks.
Oh, okay.
Finding loads for them and sending them, wherever.
You were like the little navigator for them.
Right. Just, out and back.
Mm-hmm.
Scheduling delivery appointments and negotiating freight rates and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just learning everything about, how this business works. I ate, drank, and slept trucking.
Wow.
For about 5 years.
And it was your goal? You're like, I want to have my own?
I never thought about that at first. I just wanted to be good at it.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I just wanted to be good at it.
It captivated you.
Yeah. And I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for like
just
5
grinding.
years. Yeah. Getting a lot of phone calls in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And
damn.
I just learned a lot, and just one day I was like, I'm really busting my butt.
Mm-hmm.
And, nothing against Kathy, I just wanted to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
there's nothing wrong with doing better. That's what everyone should strive to be like.
And
damn, you're so much better than me.
And I just wanted to do better, and I was like, well, I talked to Dad about it, and he moved some money around and loaned me some money.
That's what's up.
And
like any dad would do.
Right. And I bought a truck and hired a driver and started hauling loads. Got all the proper paperwork from the government and insurance, and it's just unbelievable red tape you got to go through.
Uh-huh. And that was officially your truck.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
And I'm sure it takes, you got to pay the driver, you got to maintain the truck.
Buy fuel.
How many trucks do you have today?
I don't have any.
Oh, you don't have any?
No, I closed my business in 2009.
Damn.
4 years.
Why the fuck did I think you were still doing trucking?
I am still doing trucking, but I work for a trucking company in Lexington, Tennessee called Reeves Brothers Trucking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2009. Yeah. So how many trucks did you have when you stopped?
I was still just doing the one.
Just doing the one?
Yeah.
How come you stop? What made you stop?
Well, the truck, we were just running the dog crap out of this truck. And it just eventually, you either got to rebuild the engine or buy another truck. And I didn't have quite the capital and the assets to effectively run a trucking company. I mean, it was just basically running it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that for very long.
Well, you're a single guy learning and doing it all by yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Something's going to happen, and you're not going to be prepared for it.
It's a shame you couldn't have met with someone who you could have partnered with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn.
But
you still stayed in the business.
I learned.
And the experiences that you gained from that?
Like,
why not try it?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That takes a lot of balls that a lot of people would never do.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that you learn, people would be like, "Oh, this is too much," but you fucking were like, "No, I want to get better." That's a good mindset.
I often tell people it was the worst 4 years of my life.
Uh-huh.
Because at first it was great. I didn't have to go to work. I ran the trucking company out of my dining room.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of work, dude.
But here's the thing: you think that's great? Oh man, you get to stay home every day. That is awesome. It's not that awesome. You start missing the camaraderie
interaction
with other people.
Wow.
And it was to the point I really enjoyed it for like the first year and a half, because
you do like talking to people. You're a talkative guy.
Yeah. And I liked it because I got to stay home with my youngest daughter and watch her,
grow up.
We eliminated that daycare just by me staying home and working. So I was, like,
there were some benefits.
Yeah. And, I enjoyed that part of it. But then after about a year and a half or a little bit over a year, I found myself at 7:30 in the morning sitting out on the driveway and watching people going to work going, I wish I could go with them, just because I wanted to be around people.
Yeah.
Because, my wife, she worked, a normal day job, 9 to 5, and she would go to work, and then I'd be at home all by myself. And then she'd get home from work, and she was so tired from working that all she wanted to do was eat dinner and go to bed.
You guys were just in this routine.
Right. So then here I am, been home all by myself.
Wanting to
all
talk.
Day. Yeah. And she's ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
So here I am at night all by myself again because she's asleep. And
Damn.
I was like, this is not.
I relate to that. Yeah. Being that feeling alone, it sucks.
So.
Good for you for seeing that, though, because a lot of people would just stay in it.
Well, here's the thing. I did stay in it until the engine on the truck just...
You rode it till the wheels fell off,
Exactly.
Baby.
And I didn't have the money.
I'm sure there's so many people that can relate to this.
Yeah.
So many.
I didn't have the money to fix the truck, so I just,
we tried, baby.
I sold everything. Yeah.
We tried.
I sold everything. I sold the trailer. I sold the truck.
Uh-huh.
I paid all the taxes. I paid all the employees that I owed money to. I paid all that, and I just found a job.
Damn, you're a better man because guess what? There's a lot of people in jail who are in jail because they said "fuck that, I'm out," and they didn't pay shit, or they were stealing their employees' money.
Right.
Like my mom.
Yeah.
My mom had dealt with something like that.
Right.
I literally think the movie Tower Heist is based on him.
It was what was the name of that stock?
WorldCom? I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Tyco?
Yeah. Fuck you, Tyco. Piece of shit. It's just crazy how companies can get away with that.
Yeah.
And do shit like that. Damn. Hey man, kudos to you for taking on that challenge. It's not like you were like, it was put on you. You wanted to take it.
Right.
That takes balls. Just like me doing this podcast. Everyone's like, oh, a lot of people are like, oh, I would do a podcast, and they never do it, or they do it, they realize how much work goes behind a podcast, and they stop. But you just gotta grind. If you love it, you grind at it. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, you tried.
That's right.
Right? And I'd feel worse wanting to try something and never trying it than trying it and failing.
Well, there are some people that say there's no such thing as a failure.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say? Is that learning? It's always a learn.
Yeah.
100%.
You learn.
Yeah.
And there's a silver lining in everything.
Yeah. 100%. Damn. What's it like having me as a younger brother, a 29-year-old younger brother? Is it crazy?
It's awesome because I can tell you all the things that I've messed up.
Yeah. Huh.
Whether you listen to it to me or not.
Oh, I know. You give me some good love advice. I hope one day I find love. We'll see.
You will.
You told me that 6 years ago, and here I am 6 years ago, and I'm like, damn.
It ain't time.
The difference between now and then, because I have grown, I'm not looking for it anymore. I'm just focused on me. I want to do me. If it happens, it happens.
And when you stop looking, that's when it's going to happen.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
It will. She's
going to be damn lucky, I'll tell you that. Look at you, though.
Her standards got to be pretty low, though.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
It's hard out here for bald guys, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You lucky dog.
Yeah.
You got one hooked.
Yeah, she's stuck with me.
Yeah. That's something I worry about, too, with my generation. Like, I envy. It's not that I don't. People shouldn't have. It sucks for older generations when people were like, oh, I'm stuck in this marriage. I have to stay married because if we get divorced, people will judge, like that. Yeah. That would be horrible. But I just feel like monogamy might be going out the window. It's still there. I still have a few friends who have been in long relationships, but I don't know. I know you're on the light, like you're a lighter, brighter tunnel. I'm a little darker tunnel on that subject, but because I just feel like technology, like we have dating at you guys. Yeah. You didn't grow up meeting girls on dating apps. You didn't have to worry about getting swiped compared to other dudes in comparison.
No.
You would go to a bar. You would meet doing something or buy a friend. You know what I mean? It's harder to do that shit today. You gotta have it all.
You're never gonna meet anybody quality on there.
Oh, I know. You know what sucks?
What?
We gotta end this pod.
Okay.
It's over.
All right.
Doesn't it go by quick?
Yeah.
I still want to keep talking to you, but it's like, shit, the battery's going to die any second. Yeah.
We can do more.
Yeah, we'll do another one next time you're in town.
All right.
It was really cool. I wanted to say, look at you rocking this unranked merch, dude. You look good in that shit, dude. Yeah. Look at my bling, Jobins. Tell me this ain't the hardest chain in the fucking game right now. Sugar Sean O'Malley rookie card? Let's go. With the thing that you get when you order Sean's clothes. Lanyard. A lanyard? Yeah. No, this is my chain.
I got one.
Yeah, you got one too. Yeah. You look good on it, man. Unranked. He's ranked now. He's 13. Yeah. So you better come out with some merch for that.
Right.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Jobins, I hope you guys enjoyed it. My big bro, Jeff.
Yeah.
Take it easy, Jobins.